Her boss told her she needed a doctor's note for being sick. He thought he was proving a point. What he didn't know, I was the one holding his next appointment, and his karma was about to hit right on schedule. If you've ever dealt with an arrogant boss who treats everyone like they're beneath him, this story will feel so satisfying. Hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in, because today's story is about poetic justice served cold and with a medical certificate. I run a small physical therapy clinic. I love what I do, helping people heal, watching them regain confidence in their bodies. It's fulfilling. My fiancée, Sarah, is a lawyer at a mid-sized firm downtown. She's smart, sharp, and the kind of person who earns respect just by walking into a room. A few months ago, we hosted our engagement party. It was a perfect night. Friends, laughter, good wine, and a few of her work colleagues came along. I joked that if anyone at the firm ever needed physio, I'd give them a discount. Just something friendly, nothing serious. Turns out, 4 of them actually took me up on it. They became regulars, nice people, easy to work with. But then one day, I got an appointment request that made Sarah groan the second she saw it. Her partner, Greg, even before I met him, the way Sarah said his name told me everything. Apparently, Greg was the kind of boss who thought empathy was optional, arrogant, condescending, always looking for ways to make himself feel superior. Sarah once called him a man who confuses fear with respect. Lovely, right? The day Greg came in, he strutted through the clinic like he owned it. Tailored suit, slick back hair, that smug grin people wear when they think the world owes them applause. "Ah," he said, scanning the room. "So this is where Sarah's fiancé works. Not bad." I smiled politely. "Welcome, Greg. I'll be your therapist today." From the first minute, I could tell why no one liked him. He spoke like every word he said deserved a standing ovation. He bragged about the cases he'd won, the clients he crushed, even his golf swing. But beneath all that arrogance, there was something else: insecurity. He needed validation like oxygen. Still, I stayed professional. When it came time to pay, he looked at the rate and raised an eyebrow. "I thought there was a discount," he said, smirking. I smiled back, matching his tone. "That's for employees," I said. "Partners don't really count." He didn't like that. His smile twitched, but he paid. And that tiny flicker of annoyance? That was my first win. Over the next few weeks, Greg came in a couple more times. Each visit was a test of patience. He'd drop snide comments, brag about his tough management style, and occasionally ask about Sarah, not out of friendliness, but as if trying to size her up. Then one day, he came in while I was swamped. One of my therapists was sick, so I was covering their appointments. Greg noticed. "Busy day?" he asked while scrolling through his phone. "Yeah," I said. "One of my team's home sick." He chuckled, actually chuckled. "Do you make them bring a doctor's note?" I frowned. "No. If someone's unwell, I'd rather they rest and come in and infect the clinic." Greg's eyes gleamed, like he'd just found a moral victory. "See, that's where you go wrong. At my office, I'm cracking down on that. People take advantage. No note, no pay." He said it so proudly, like enforcing misery made him a visionary. I forced a polite laugh, but inside I was boiling. The hypocrisy, the arrogance, the complete lack of humanity, it all screamed Greg. I didn't know it yet, but that conversation would set everything in motion. A few days later, I caught the same cold. I probably got it from the sick therapist, and despite trying to power through, it hit me hard. And because karma's got a twisted sense of humor, I passed it to Sarah. It hit her worse. Fever, sore throat, vertigo, the whole package. On Friday, she tried to work from home, but by Monday morning, she could barely get out of bed. I told her to rest, but then her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, and her face fell. "It's Greg," she muttered. "He says I need to provide a medical certificate or it'll count as unpaid leave." She wasn't joking. The man who just bragged to me about being strict with sick leave had decided to enforce that rule, for the first time ever, on my sick fiancé. The one. He caught the cold from me that came from my clinic. It felt personal, petty, cruel, and I could feel that slow burn in my chest, the kind of anger that doesn't explode, it calculates. Now, Here's where things get interesting. That same day, the one Greg sent that email, he had an appointment at my clinic, 2 o'clock sharp. Sarah also needed to see a doctor, and since she was too dizzy to drive, guess who her chauffeur had to be? I opened my booking system, looked at Greg's slot, and smiled. I called him up. "Hey, Greg, just wanted to give you a heads up. I'll have to cancel your appointment today. Sarah's not doing great, so I'm driving her to the doctor." There was a pause on the line. I could almost hear his ego deflating. "Oh," he said, his tone clipped. "Well, can't you go later?" I kept my voice calm, maybe too calm. "No, she's pretty sick. Her doctor could only see her at 2. I'll get back to you if I can reschedule." He didn't like that answer one bit, especially when I added, "But I'm fully booked for the next 3 weeks." A beat of silence, then a forced, "Right, fine." An hour later, Sarah's phone buzzed. A text from Greg. "No need for the medical certificate. Just come in when you're feeling better." With a laughing emoji. I actually laughed out loud when I saw it. The man who lectured me about being strict with sick leave suddenly decided rules didn't apply when they inconvenienced him. Sarah smirked through her sore throat. Guess he didn't like losing his massage. I grinned. Guess not. We didn't reply. She went to her doctor's appointment, got her certificate, and Greg got to stew in the consequences of his own arrogance. For the first time in years, someone had told him no, and he had to accept it. Here's the part that made it even sweeter. Word spread around Sarah's office that Greg had enforced the doctor's note policy on her, and then immediately backed down when it inconvenienced him. Her colleagues? They noticed. A few of them joked about how karma works fast when you mess with the wrong people. One even said Greg seemed a little quieter in meetings afterward. Apparently, when you make yourself look like a hypocrite in front of your entire team, it does wonders for your reputation. A week later, Greg finally reached out to rebook. By then, I could barely keep a straight face reading his message. He was overly polite, painfully so. No more arrogance. No backhanded comments. Just, "Hey, mate, any chance you could squeeze me in this month?" I told him the truth. "Sorry, Greg, my schedule's completely packed." Because sometimes the most satisfying revenge isn't loud. It's not dramatic. It's a quiet, polite no, backed by the knowledge that the other person knows exactly why. Greg thought he could control everyone. That power came from intimidation. But the moment someone refused a bend, his entire act crumbled. No shouting, no confrontation, just a canceled appointment and a lesson in humility. Sometimes karma doesn't need grand gestures. It just needs timing and the right person behind the wheel of the car driving to the doctor's office.